Bitch, I'm in the. Bitch, I'm in the. Bitch, I'm in the trap.
What about that intro, y'all? Come on, dude. That is fantastic, Mark.
I'm getting better.
I like that music. I'm glad I picked the music. I'm glad you were able to put the music together for us. It's a little loud.
Yeah, well, tough shit.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. My name is Brian. With me always, right there. That's right. Sometimes you remember your name, sometimes you don't, and sometimes you feel like a nut, and most of the time.
Hey, hold up, wait a minute. I only get flustered and forget my name when Facebook tells me that they can't put it live.
Are we live on Facebook?
Yeah, that's what took me so long to press the intro. I wanted to make sure it stayed on.
Gotcha. We are waiting for our special guest, special someone to show up. And if you look right above my head.
Hey, my special someone's in the bedroom, so I'm sorry.
Well, you didn't have to do the show. I could have done this by myself. Guys, we had a great show last week when we had I wasn't here, unfortunately. I was very ill. Mark took control of the show. Had a guy from a little podcast called Nonsensical Nonsense step in and fill my big shoes, as well as Stephen Jarvis from Jarvis Podcast, or Jarvis Demon, showed up and was helping out there because I guess you guys had some mic trouble. And
oh, hell yeah. Between me and Jamie, we weren't sure which one had the mic problem. So I asked Stephen to come in. I said, hey, look, I need your help. I need to make sure it's who's got the mic problem. And it took us, we were 15 minutes late getting on here because of the, technical problems, but we made it. Even though, Glick was, like 5-10 minutes late.
I mean, he's always late to the party, though. I mean, that's just what he does.
That's a different story.
So I guess while we're waiting for Doug Canney to show up, guys, we have what are we doing around here? Like, what do we do on this show? I had the sniffles. Yes, I had the sniffles. Absolutely. You caught me. I can't help it, man. It like really hurt. It hurt my feelings. It hurt my throat. So everybody was telling me to stay off the crack pipe. I don't even remember where I put my crack pipe. So there's that.
It's meth pipe in Citrus County. Remember that.
Yeah, I don't do meth.
Yeah.
Don't do meth. I may do a little toot here. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So in the meantime, while we're waiting for Doug, what do you want to talk about, Mark?
The hell if I know. We do this thing and we never actually, ever come up with a topic to play or, talk about. We never do anything. So actually, that brings us up to next week's show.
Well, hang on now. Hang on. Did you guys know that we got these little decals made up? Got a couple of these little decals. If you guys want one of these decals, reach out to me and Mark. Let us know. We'd love for you to sport one of these. Fantastic. I like this decal. I think I did a pretty good job. It's a little
guy.
I
like that one. I like that better than the one that, the one that.
It's a little guy. It'll look really good on the back of somebody's cell phone. Yeah, see? Yeah. This one I think looks a little better. It's got all blue background.
Well, that's what I like about it. Yep. It stands out more.
So if you guys want one of these little decals, let us know. We'd love to get you guys a decal or two. I don't know who's going to pay for them, man. $1.99. and that doesn't cover the shipping. So, all right. So in pops Doug Canney. You guys want to meet Doug Canney? Doug Canney, comedian, former rock and roll musician, and guys, this guy can shred a guitar. And when I say shred, I'm talking he's nasty on the fucking strings, bro. So let's see if he still has that.
Brian showed me a video just a few minutes ago. So,
all right, let's welcome to the stage, everyone, Doug Canney. Doug,
how
are you?
All right, man.
You, buddy?
I'm so sorry. I had this set up on my laptop, and it just at the last minute it didn't work. So
that happens.
It's all
I'm
good.
trying to make this bigger. So can you guys hear me and everything?
Oh yeah, we can hear you.
All right, cool.
If you turn your phone sideways.
Okay.
There you go.
There you go.
Rock and roll. All right.
I learned that trick from Nonsensical Nonsense. Isn't that right? Isn't that who told us that?
No. It was Peter. And
Peter Anthony.
Yeah.
That's who it was.
Yeah.
Here we go. All right.
Yeah, don't give nonsensical nonsense anymore.
Stop giving him kudos. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Sorry, Click. You're not getting no more kudos.
Got a big head.
All right. So, Doug, we don't really kind of do interviews around here, man. We just kind of let you talk about whatever you want to talk about. We'll ask you some questions here and there if you're okay with it. We told you earlier. Cool. We told you before we had you come on. We don't talk about politics. It's just one of our things. We're not fans of talking about politics or religion.
Or religion.
That's right.
Right.
Actually, I saw some of your political posts, and I think we aligned. But we're not gonna go into that because I'm not a political comedian. But
right on.
I saw some of the stuff you posted, and I kind of agreed with it. So
okay, very cool.
Oh, that's
I don't know. Shut up.
Brian, you post the same shit I do, so I mean we're both in the same boat.
What's so sad nowadays? What's so sad nowadays is regardless of what your morality is or whatever, or whichever side of the fence you're on, you lose 50% of your audience the minute you open your mouth.
Yep.
So I just don't make jokes about it. And I love watching people do it. Trey Crowder, who you know who I'm talking about, Trey, and he does the redneck politician thing. You guys know what I'm talking about?
No.
He's big time, dude. He's got millions of followers, and he's been on CNN and stuff. He's a guy from, I think he's from Alabama or somewhere. We started out at the same time. We used to do Alchemy was the club in Mobile, and he's worldwide now for his commentary and stuff. He's fantastic, funniest guy in the world. I can't make that material funny because it pisses me off.
I hear you. And you can't be pissed off going in to tell the jokes, dude. You just can't do it. No,
I didn't get into comedy I never aspired to be a comedian. I never, excuse me, it wasn't something I thought about when I was a kid. I played music. I started playing when I was 8 years old. I got in a band when I was 16, and then I played 340 nights a year for many, many years, 17, 18 years. And when I got sober and clean, I was an unhappy something. And I just fell into, I went to a couple of open mics, and I was at the height of my alcoholism. And, I tried to off myself.
Oh, that's not good, man.
No, I never done it since and never did it before. It's not something I talk about a lot, but that's what got me into comedy was the deep depression and suicidal hopefulness. And I tell you, man, it took a long time to get consistent with stand-up, but it's changed my life. And I'm still sober, still clean.
And good on you for that, man. So I was telling Mark that, I did a little bit of research on you because I know you and I talked when you came down here to Podunk, Citrus County, and you guys did a show in front of, I think there was at least 10 people in that room, right?
What show is it?
The VFW in Homosassa.
Oh yeah. There was more than 10 people in there.
I know, it's a joke, man.
There was at least 11.
At least 11. At least.
Right.
Yeah, no, it was a great show. You guys killed it. I think everybody left there just grin ear to ear, man. So I've never seen so many old people smile like that before in my life.
That's, honestly, when I first started doing this, when you pick comedy as a career, it kind of has to pick you too a little bit. And let me tell you what, all I ever wished, I didn't wish to be able to kill it one day. I didn't wish any of that. I just wanted to be consistent. And that market is one of the ones that I had to conquer, because your average market is 40 to 70. That's your average market.
Okay.
So, and I'm good with, I like telling jokes to young people too, but I had a lot of fun, and, a lot of those people remind me of my, I have a lot of military in my family.
Yep. I think that you started off on stage telling us about some of your military family, I believe is how you started that now. Yeah.
My dad was a World War II combat veteran, my real dad. And my older brother was a dentist. I'm trying to move the phone around. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be, I'm trying to figure out how to do this correctly. My older brother was a dentist in the Air Force, retired colonel, and all my uncles. I had an uncle that flew with Pappy Boyington and the Black Sheep. I don't know if you ever heard of them. Flew F-4U Corsairs in World War II. And so everybody, I'm the only professional musician and the only professional comedian in the family, and I make the least amount of money as all of them.
But you're happy, though. You're happy.
Finally,
and it didn't take alcohol to get you there.
No, I'm not that interesting of a person, I don't reckon, but it's quite an interesting road that got me where I am going through. I thought I was going to be Eddie Van Halen. I mean that seriously. I didn't think I was going to be Eddie, but I thought that's what I was going to do all my life. And that's why I got on the level I did with the guitar. I never, if you'd have told me when I was 25, hey, you're going to be telling jokes, you're not even going to be playing guitar in your set, I'd be like, no, that's not possible.
Have you thought about doing it together? Is there a way to incorporate jamming out and then, stopping and going, this brings me to a point of,
I used to do some guitar in my set, probably the first 4 or 5 years when I first started out. I used to do a closer. My closer was like a 5-minute guitar thing where I did a bunch of shred stuff and sang a little and stuff like that. But I got a big mouth. I got a lot to say. And, I've played guitar for over 50 years now. I love it. I'm happy about it. But I don't need it, to me.
I'm gonna throw something up here on the screen real quick. Bear with me. This was it might have been a comedy show, possibly, with Michael Winslow. Is that right? Something you did with Mike Winslow?
Yeah, that was a big show. Yeah, I know the one you're talking about. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna pop this up real quick. Give me 1 second. Let's get this audio and bang and share. Here we go. All right, so chances are you carried Michael through that one, right?
I played the rhythm and he played some soul. He's amazing. He's and what's even funnier about that is when you play guitar, you tune either standard or you tune half step down, D sharp. And before we started playing, I was just noodling and making noise. And he said, "You tuned to D sharp?" I said, "Yeah, I'm tuned a half step down like the '80s guys." He said, "Okay, cool." And he actually played in key with me.
Oh wow.
He did all that because before we set up, we did a sound check. He wanted to use all my Marshall stacks. He wanted me to bring all my Marshalls and set them all up behind him, and we couldn't do it. They wouldn't let us do it. So, but when we were sound checking and jamming, man, he was as fast as I am with hammers and licks. His mouth was as fast as my fingers are.
That's absolutely insane.
Blew me. He just moved to Orlando a couple of years ago, and I stay in touch with him. He's a super cool guy.
Awesome. Have you done any additional shows with him since this one?
Yeah, we've done a few shows. Not lately. I think I did two shows with him, and we said we'd work together again. I have a little PA system and stuff. If comics come to town and they throw their own gig and they don't have equipment, I have equipment. And I can do lights, PA, all that kind of stuff. And that's another thing. When I sell my show, I bring everything. If you hire me to do a show, I bring other comics. I bring, everything to be a full show. And I think that might help me. I do this for a living. I don't have a job. This is it. This is all I got.
This is it.
Yeah. So
what did you used to do back in the day? Like, where did you work? What kind of career were you aiming for? I know you said musician, and like I said, you could shred a guitar. I mean, that's no lie. And you thought maybe you were going to be the next Van Halen or similar.
Well, my band got signed. Yeah, the Corella DeVille got signed twice, actually.
Okay.
We never on a major label. We toured with Rat and Loverboy, and we had some of the bands I was in open for bigger guys. Never made it. Never made a big thing. I built houses and I did roofing work. I had my own business, Canney Construction Company, for about 26 years. And the only reason I had that, the only reason I went in business is because in my little town in New Bern, North Carolina, if you were a long-haired musician, you couldn't hold a job. Nobody's going to hire you to build their house or do their roof or do vinyl siding or anything if they think you're going to pick up on Wednesday night and go play with your band in Myrtle Beach. Yeah. So I started my own business with a borrowed ladder and a Chevette. And in 2012, when I closed down, I didn't go out of business or go bankrupt. I just moved. And, we had 4 or 5 trucks and 6 employees. And I had 1 employee for 16 years. So, I mean, I had to do something, man, because where I'm from, New Bern, you can't be you couldn't back then make a living in town playing music.
Gotcha. You just picked up on comedy. What was it, like 10, 11 years ago? I think is what you told me when you and I talked at the show.
Started writing in 2005. I started hitting open mics and stuff around 2007, 2008 when I had the little, and that took a while to get over. And then I started 2009, 8 and 9. I was featuring and going everywhere. And in 2010 is when I decided I was going to do this for a living, and I couldn't get anybody to book me on the road. So what I did was I used my music connections, and I would hire a headliner that I liked, and I would go sell a comedy show, and I would just open for him.
There you go.
I make good money.
Yeah.
I'd sell a show for $450. I'd give my headliner $200, give my MC $50, and I'd make almost the same money as the headliner.
Cool.
And you got to stay consistent with that. You got to do that. You're doing that 3 nights out of the week or something like that?
The biggest year I had was 330 nights on stage, and that was 2013 or 2014. Wow. But usually I do over 300 nights a year. It hasn't been the last couple of years because, frankly, I'm trying to get late night TV. I'm trying to get Jimmy Fallon, trying to get Jimmy Kimmel. I opened up for Kimmel's sister last year, and I was hoping that would help. But I'm trying to get more TV stuff. I got some IMDb credit now. I was on a show on Fox, so I'm trying to do the right thing. I want to step up to the next level. I think I'm ready.
Absolutely. Why not? You got to keep climbing the ladder, right? You can't go down. You don't want to go down. You got to keep going up.
And I love to write, man. I have never have a problem writing new material. So I love to do it. So it's not, the journey is not that arduous. It's just the patience that kicks my ass. I don't have it.
I hear you. Now I know that everybody always asks this question. I think it's so cliche, but do you have someone that you like emulate, or that you kind of take after, someone that drives you to do the comedy that you do?
If you mean like, who did I like, or who influenced me?
Yeah.
Is that what you mean? I would have to say at first it was Robin Williams. Because I just loved his energy and the way he wrote. And then, of course, after doing stand-up for a while, I found out that he had a bad reputation. But I just loved the guy. I thought he was awesome. And I really love Mitch Hedberg.
Okay.
You ever heard of him?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
If you notice, my opener kind of reminds me of Mitch a little. Harry, he just has that. It's not his material, but it's just his. I think it's his delivery a little that reminds me of Mitch.
Yeah, he'll tell you something, and then at the very end he just catches you with the hook. That's what it is.
The reason I hired Harry 6 years ago to work with me is because when he told a joke that didn't land, you couldn't see it in his face. I can't do that. If I tell a joke and it doesn't do as good as I think it is, I'll be like, "Is this thing on?" And Harry's he's so professional about stuff like that.
So I did reach out to Harry. I asked him if he would like to do the same thing and come on and be a part of the podcast or a podcast. He says he's very nervous about it. I'm not sure how that's possible when he can get up in front of people and tell it like it is. Tell them
it's different. It's a little bit different than, you're sitting here talking and, you could play to an audience, but you're playing to what you see here. You don't have a bunch of people to bounce it off of neither.
I got to tell you about Harry, man. Harry is the most stage fright guy you would ever meet. He, you got to shake me and make sure I'm still awake. Because I played music all my life. I wish I had anxiety before I went on stage. I would love to feel butterflies, but I played music for so long that it went away. And he'll throw up before shows. I've seen him look at me backstage and go, "Hey man," and you have to go under to the bathroom. And then I'll look at him and go, "Hey man, you okay, man?" And then he goes up there and kills it. But don't let him have stage fright. Make him do the show.
I think he would enjoy it.
You won't be sorry.
We sent him a link to this show, so he'll be seeing you on the show.
I'm gonna try to set this in my mic stand. Maybe I can sit so it won't make everybody sick. There we go. There we go. Sorry.
There you go. No, all good, man.
All right. Good.
It was like you were carrying us around like we were the baby.
Well, like I said, I had planned on doing this a different way, but it didn't.
Your computer had other ideas for you, huh? Yeah, that's why Mark and we get on like 30 minutes early. I'm like, all right, how's everything look? Like Mark's bitching about his lighting. He's like, I don't like this green screen. I think it sucks. I told him, I said, I want to do green screen tonight. I wanted to put your background up for our show, and then I wanted us to have our own backgrounds in that. So in order to do that, you got to have a green screen. But I
downloaded a background earlier, but is it still, if I downloaded it earlier in this room, will it still be there?
It should, yeah.
It should.
If you go to the settings portion, and you go to virtual background, Go to virtual backgrounds. Anything that's there should be for this show. It's stuff that we've downloaded and stuff like that.
Leave it up to Glick.
He says, I feel like I've been watching a
bad remake of Cloverfield. Thanks for sitting the phone down, Doug. Whoever that was, I like them. Sorry.
So that's Glick. Glick's got a little show called Nonsensical Nonsense Podcast. So maybe linking up with him. Doug, the goal here is to make sure that we can have our fans and our friends and our family see you on our show so that they'll go over to your TikTok page, go see you when you come to Podunk, Homosassa, Florida. You know what I mean? So yeah. It's like, and that's why, like I said, we don't want to turn it into an interview. We want to just have fun, just talk about whatever you want to talk about. So, I mean,
and look, thank you so much for doing this. People don't seem to realize how important these things are, because even if, it doesn't even matter how many people are watching. If you get a couple people that, can understand your plight or, understand why you're out there working it, it helps. And if anybody does want to help out, I got a YouTube channel. It's just Doug Canney. And I'm trying to, I've got 605 subscribers. I got to have 1,000 to monetize. So if anybody wants to see some dumb stuff, I do guitar shred stuff, lessons, of course, my comedy and my acting and stuff is on there. And I feel like it's a pretty interesting place. So if anybody wants to follow me on YouTube, please do.
Just Doug Canney, DougCanney.
That's it. There's only one. There's actually another Doug Canney. He's a commercial fisherman in Boston. And I went to get a car loan or something a few years ago. And they were like, wow, you got like a 900 credit rating. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. I was like, no, my credit rating is more around room temperature. What are you talking about? And so we were talking to the guy, and he showed it to me. I was like, well, number one, I'm 5 years older than that guy. And number two, yeah, I have not paid off $1 million loan. So, but so there is another Doug Canney though.
All right, so we want to follow Doug Canney, the comedian, not Doug Canney, the fisherman.
I did that. I went looking for him on Facebook because you told me what to do. You told me who he was and to find him and get him. I waited a little bit of time before I asked, just not to seem so rushing into everything. And I'm looking through it and I'm seeing, it said Doug Canney. And
spit it out.
Shut up. And then it showed a few different ones. I'm like, oh shit. So I went through and I seen the picture that you sent me of him, and I'm like, oh shit, now I know which one. I didn't think that the IMDb was right because it didn't have his picture, the one that I looked at. So I could.
Well, now his IMDb is in fact Doug Canney. So
yeah,
what was the
International Movie Database.
What was the show that you did?
No, IMDb. Oh, it's the one that's on Fox now is called Backseat to Justice. But I'm not in the news show for some reason. But I also did a movie that was a sequel to Bong Water that had Jack Black in it and Luke. I can't remember his name, but it was called Me and My Bud, and I was a gay Indian gangster.
Wow.
When I say Indian, I mean I don't know, the Indian, not Pocahontas, but Indian.
Got you.
And then I was in a silent movie that won a bunch of awards at Cannes and the Toronto Film Festival called it was a silent movie about a old 70-year-old salesman getting fired, and I was actually the boss that fired him, and it was all silent, and I got an award for being the biggest dick without saying no dialogue.
What was that called?
That one is called. Shoot, I can't remember. It's on my YouTube.
All right, we'll find that one.
And by the way, I have a prescription for this, so I'm just taking my medicine.
Oh yeah,
we don't give a shit.
Listen, Mark's over there going, yeah, I had a piece of chocolate earlier, so how you doing?
My wife,
I wish.
has fibromyalgia, so she takes gummies. And boy, I can tell you when it kicks in, she takes one, and she'll be here, and like an hour later, I'm like, nice butt. And she'll be like, I'm like, I didn't even say. She's funnier than I am anyway. She's actually a mortician.
I thought you were joking about that. She's literally a mortician, though, right?
No joke.
Literally thought that was you rolled it into a joke, and you were like, "Yep, she's a mortician."
Yep, she's like I said, she's my little last responder. You know, she's
Oh,
not first responder, but last
That's right.
responder.
It's
But
the last person you want to meet.
yeah, right, exactly. And look, man, she's great. She's awesome. It's a cool job. She didn't have it when I met her. She went to school, and I remember when she was going to school for it, I was like, "How can you do this?" And then after she got the job and she went in there, all jokes aside, I see how she helps these people. And man, I could never do that. I could never, day in and day out, see people who are just, she sees people at the worst day of their life when they've lost their husband, wife, father. I mean, I don't know if you got parents that are still alive or whatever, but that's like the worst day of your life. And man, she's just, I swear to God, man, she's got some kind of psychic ability or something, because she can just tap right into what it is, and she can make them, calm them down. And so I think, as weird as it sounds, I think that job probably, people have a calling for that, if that makes sense.
yes, I believe you're right.
Yeah.
I still fuck her, so.
Hey, Doug, listen, some of your videos, you got birds in the background. You've got bunny rabbits. You got like this sheepdog. You got a what is that?
Cat.
That's a
Newfoundland.
Newfoundland.
Yeah, Newfoundland. Yeah, Newfie.
Yeah, and you've got the redneck cat that you rescued out of Daytona. What other animals do you have?
Let's see. I got a Gila monster. No, I'm kidding. I have 7 cats. One of them, we rescued a deaf feral cat, and she was pregnant. So that's why we have those 4. We gave one away, and then we have our own 3 cats. And then we have 2 dogs. We have the Newfie. His name is Tiggy, and we have another dog. Looks like a hound dog. His name is Kayak. And then we have the rabbit, which is Gossamer. And then we have 2 foul-mouthed parrots. And one of them's mine. That's Duchess. She's probably about 24, 25 now.
Wow.
And she's a green Amazon. Then we have Corky, who's 50 or 51. And we got him from one of her customers. And so when we got him, he was saying other people's names and shit. And, you'd wake up in the morning and he would like have a conversation. He loves Beth, hates me. Just hates me.
Won't talk to you, or?
Oh, he'll talk to me, but he cusses at me a lot. And Duchess, my bird, loves me to death. And when Duchess curses, she does it in Beth's voice. And I'm not kidding you. Like, you'll walk by and I'll say, "Hey, Duchess, give me a kiss, Duchess." She says, "What the fuck? What the fuck?" And she says it just in Beth's voice. No kidding.
Wow.
So I don't know what that means, but Corky's really funny. Corky sings. The other one, it's a double-breasted Amazon, and he's older, and when Beth comes in, he calls her mama, and I mean it's pretty endearing. But yeah, we're animal lovers, man. I'm a stray. I grew up in foster care, and never really, got to really, I didn't really know what a family was, and so when I got older, the only way to break the chains with that type of abuse and depression was to take care of something, so I didn't realize that's what I was doing, but psychologically I learned from, seeing shrinks and stuff that the reason I'm so close to my animals is I think for some reason I'm trying to make up for some shit or something,
Gotcha. Do you and Beth have any kids together?
No, she has, this is weird. She was in like a religious cult for like 25 years. Like one of those crazy cults. So she got 4 kids from the same dude. They got divorced. And then I have my son, Tyler, from my I have to tell you what number it is because I have so many from my second marriage.
Okay.
So this is my 7th. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh wow.
3.5. I'm just kidding. 3.5.
So are you guys married now, or is she your fiance? She's your wife.
We just got married in April 28th. So we're coming up on a year. We've been living together for about 7 years. We've been dating for 11 years. So we've been together a while, man.
And I noticed that she hasn't done your makeup yet, so you're in good hands.
No, she hasn't done any makeup on me. She
threatened to do that to you, though.
Well, she doesn't do the makeup on the body. She does. She's an embalmer.
Okay.
And she does like the legal stuff, and she sets it up. It's almost like a booking agent. You know, they set up boom, 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 everything that has to happen.
Okay.
Pretty interesting stuff, man. I had no idea until I started, hanging out with her, and they love her where she works. That they absolutely love her, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, I figured as a mortician that you took it from start to finish. You do the embalming, and then you do hey, this is what they're going to wear.
Actually,
this is what the family wants to put them in.
Yeah, I knew that they had somebody that did the makeup and puts the clothes on them and stuff. They actually hire them separate than the embalmer and the main person that does, the funeral stuff.
Yeah, he's right. They got when they first come in, they got people who clean them up. And then they do, if they have to do any work to them or fix anything or whatever, and dress them. And then the makeup and hair people come in last. And it weirds me out, man. It just weirds me out. I mean, I'm just not. I was in there the other day and they had one in a box because they're flying it somewhere. Uh-huh. And so I was like, does it have to have a ticket? And they're like, no, it doesn't. He has to have a ticket. I said, so wait a minute. You're telling me you have to buy a fucking ticket for the corpse? Does he have to show ID? I mean, does he go through, is the corpse going to go through customs? I mean, can I sneak some shit in? It didn't make any sense to me at all. And she's like, oh yeah, we got to set it up just like I was like, yeah, call Uber. I want to see how that works.
How many in your party, sir? Let's see. 6
right.
plus 1. 6 plus 1.
She's definitely a better human than I am, man. I couldn't do it.
So have you been with her as long as you've been doing comedy or longer?
No, I moved here in July 27th, excuse me, of 2012. Technically is when I moved here for good. I had been touring down here for a couple of years. I spent a lot of time on the road. I was living in New Bern, North Carolina. And I moved here in 2012. I met her ex-husband. He won some kind of thing or something, and his prize was to open up for a touring comic. So he opened up for me. That's how I met him. And I met her. And so, I forgot all about it. And they broke up. I saw on Facebook where they broke up. So I asked her for coffee. She said no. So I asked her for coffee again. She said no. So I kept asking her to go to coffee. She said no. And so finally, like after 3 months of it and talking to her, and she said maybe. So I got a maybe.
I was just like, maybe she just didn't like coffee.
Right. Couldn't be she didn't like me.
What about tea? What about tea?
Yeah, there you go. Chai tea.
Chai tea.
But yeah.
You could have came out and been like, "Hey, you want to go to the red light district? Check that out over there." Or
we kept meeting. I lived in St. Pete, or actually Dunedin, but I lived in St. Pete when I first moved here. So I would come and see her on the weekends and stuff. And at that time, I was booking through Comedy Zone mostly, Heffron. So I would go MC for Bonkers at like the bowling alley in Jacksonville, and I'd go to Jackie Knight's. That's another comedy club and a restaurant that had been there for like 30 years. So I actually kind of had it planned where I could strategically be near her. And so after we dated for a couple of years, I just moved in with her. But yeah, I dated some other people when I first got here. But when I first moved here, I had just gotten sober, just gotten clean. I'd been sober about 7 months when I moved here. I didn't want to date anybody. I just didn't want to. I just wanted to do stand up. I'd write every morning. I'd write for 2 hours. I'd ride my bicycle 45 miles.
Holy crap.
Super in shape. I didn't want to do anything but just focus on how terrible I was of a comedian. That's all I wanted to focus on.
How do I get better or worse?
Yeah, luckily.
No, you've been killing it, man. Across, I mean, who wants to hire you if you're terrible? You know what I'm saying? So you've gotten all these shows and all this publicity and stuff.
I started getting consistent around 2015. That's when things started kind of where I would go home and go, wow, I haven't had a bad night in a while. Because it doesn't matter how good you are. Every now and then you're going to have a tough night. I haven't. The last time I bombed was December 22nd, 2012. That's the last time I truly, unmitigatedly ate a buffet of dog shit on stage.
Just was not a good show.
People who booked me even went, that's enough. And I got paid $500 for it.
Wow.
It was a corporate gig for Nationwide. I wasn't the comic I am now. Now I could switch gears. Now I'm a lot cleaner too. And they told me that it was going to be vendors, people who sold insurance. And when I got there, it was policyholders. So it was there was like 185 people there. All along the back wall were all people in their 90s and 80s. And then right in front of the podium, not the stage, podium was a round table with about 17, 11-year-olds all sitting around the front. Oh,
man.
And I want to say, I want to say one thing, though, in my defense. They thought the chlamydia joke was great. Anyway, so I ate shit. I mean, it was just horrible. I didn't even get. I mean, it was even taped. We taped it, it was So I was supposed to do 45. I did like 25, and when we got done, the owner come up and gave me my envelope. And he says, "How's it feel to know you ruined 180 people's Christmas?" So about 3 or 4 years ago, I talked to the agent that I work for, and I said, hey, call that prick back and tell him I'll give him a free show. I said, send him this tape, let him watch me, when I was in Texas in front of all these people. As a big show, it was taped. I was selling copies of it. I said, send him a copy of this and let him see that I've learned something,
Mm-hmm.
He said, screw you, not even for free.
Oh, wow. Wow, dude. It couldn't have been that bad.
Hold on.
It was bad.
Brian,
it was bad. Look, man, this was 2012. This was 12 years ago. Comedy's not a palette of 2x4s, okay? You can't take the talent from music and think you're going to make a lateral move to comedy and think that you're going to not have to do all the green shit. Not going to, it didn't work that way. And that's how that was my perspective in those days. And, now that would be truly a simple show. I have 90 minutes in my repertoire of just clean stuff that older people will like, edgy, and I have, 90 minutes of crazy shit. I'm not real dirty, You saw me, I'm not real dirty. But yeah, it was a bad thing. Around 2015 is when I realized that I had a little bit of buoyancy, if you will.
Mark, what are you trying to say over there? Mark's on the struggle bus.
No, I'm like, now I want to hear the joke.
The chlamydia joke?
Yeah.
Okay. I was in Miami, and my ex-girlfriend called me. I hadn't been dating her for years. And she said, hey, I see you're in Miami. I said, why are you calling me? We haven't talked in 5 years. And she said, I know you're coming back from North Carolina. I want you to get me something in Miami. I said, look, we're not dating anymore. We're not boyfriend and girlfriend. You don't get road gifts anymore. She said, I paid your bills. I bought you weed. I let you touch my butthole that time. I said, fine, okay? Fine. So, does anybody know where I can get chlamydia in Miami?
Jesus Christ.
That would have been her gift, you say. See, that's how I wrote back then. It's not a good joke. I mean, this is not, And that was the only joke I got a laugh from the 11-year-olds. I think I did it a little bit.
11-year-old's got that.
Oh,
God dang, boy. No,
At least they-
that's
I did a joke called "Cock Blocked by Slavery" at a place called Atlanta Comedy Theater. I was opening for Linnell, and it's when I met Cat Williams, and I did this joke about dating, meeting this black chick that was just beautiful. She was the MC of the show, and by the way, there's only 5 white guys in the whole building, okay, and most of them were the cook and the dishwasher. And I met this real beautiful black chick, and we worked together for a couple nights. And I said, "Hey, are you dating anybody? You single? What?" She said, "No, I'm single, but I don't date white guys because white people used to own black people." I said, "I think that's the first time in 150 years anybody's been cock blocked by slavery." And I got the Cat Williams gig for that joke.
that's cool. You work with Cat Williams. So what was that like?
No.
Oh, you didn't.
I did not. He canceled.
Oh, he canceled. He
I
was
did
too
not work with
wasted.
him. The guy
He was too wasted.
Robert G, or I can't remember the guy's name, but he has a guy he travels with who's actually on some shows. He's a famous dude. He came out. I did like 10 shows with him, and that was in Georgia, Texas, Florida, and I featured for him, and he paid me double what I normally make, and so I did get a good connection on it. But I actually technically never got to work with him.
I remember you telling us about this, that Cat Williams canceled because what was he doing? He walked
into it. He took everybody from the show out to supper early. Everybody got drunk, shit faced. I was sober at the time anyway. And then he wanted to show everybody how tough he was. So he went into a Target and slapped the cashier, the little young kid. Slapped him, show everybody how tough he was. Okay. And then the joke goes, that's kind of like one step up from slapping a cashier at Bed Bath and Beyond. Now, if you want to show me you're tough, Cat Williams, go slap a cashier at the dollar store. You're going to get your ass whooped by a tall, skinny lesbian named Pat.
Pat.
Hi, welcome to the dollar store. I have to inform you I am a convicted felon. Did you find everything okay?
Yep. That was funny. I remember that was part of your set that you had said, I almost got a chance to work with Cat Williams. Yeah. And here's why I didn't. And then you went into it. And I was like, holy shit, that's funny as hell. Yep.
I've been doing it long enough now where every now and then I get a lucky, once in a while you get some, because I really have high hopes, man. I mean, I don't put much, I don't take myself that seriously. I know I'm not reinventing the wheel with my comedy. I know that. But it's a real career. It's changed my life. I love it. And I'd like to move up to the next thing. But every now and then, even though I'm nobody, I'll Forrest Gump my way into something good. And that was one of them. So something else will come along.
And you write your own material. And let me ask you this. Have you ever written material that just didn't do well for you? And have you been like, hey, let me give this to so-and-so and see if it'll bounce off of them better? Have you ever done anything like that?
Yes and no. I mean, Harry and I write together, and sometimes that's something that I might not think is funny. He might. He can just have it. And as it comes for other comics, I have written quite a bit of material for other people, and I've had people give me tags and stuff. And the main thing you have to remember in that is don't have any ego. Okay, it doesn't matter how good you think you are or how bad you think you are, whatever. If somebody comes up to you and says, hey, try blah, 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 blah after this, and it's funny, and they give it to you, use it. I mean, all it's doing is making you look better. And I've never been mad at people that stole material from me. I've seen people do it right in front of me. And I the main thing is I am so hyper in my head that I'm constantly writing. And if somebody wanted it, some of it, I'd be, I mean, I've sold jokes before, but it was just, there's an app you can get on your phone where you can sell jokes. They'll buy them from you one by one.
What the hell?
Yeah, it's been a long time. So I can't remember what it's called. You can Google it. But you send them a page, it's 125. If you send them both, it's 175. At least 10 jokes per side.
Yeah, but when that joke kills somewhere, and you know that was your joke, and you start telling people, dude, that was my joke.
dude,
I wrote that.
there's 10 billion words in our vocabulary.
Yeah.
One joke is one joke. So what? You know, and the way I look at it is this. If somebody comes up to you one day and goes, "Hey man, I want to buy your check engine light joke," and you go, "Oh, well, that's my joke. I want to use it. You can't buy it." He's gonna fucking do it anyway.
Oh yeah.
So just take the fucking money and keep doing the joke. This happened to me in St. Pete Beach with another comic that was, I guess you could say he's famous. I'm not gonna say who he is, but he came up to me, and I was actually standing right beside Billy Gardell. He and I were talking. He had come to do a show, and I was emceeing, and the other comic said something about one of my jokes. He's like, "Hey man, I'd like to buy this joke from you," and I was like, "No." And the guy who owns the club is a lawyer, Bob Shoemaker. He owns Coconuts Comedy Club. He's owned them since the 70s. And he said, "You're a stupid one, aren't you?" I was like, "What?" He said, "He's going to do your joke anyway." He said, "Take the money." I was like, I never thought about it like that.
Well, now you know.
Now I know. Right.
Now you know.
Keep your mouth shut. You'll learn.
Yep. So in your free time, when you're not writing jokes and you're not shredding a guitar, I know you have all the animals in that, but do you still ride your bike? Do you still bicycle?
I don't.
Not 45 miles anymore.
No, I don't. I was doing 3 high-rise bridges. Now I got my Harley, I got my motorcycle, and I spend a lot of time with my dog, you know, and there's really, honestly, I have to fight for every moment that I get with my wife. We just don't have a lot of time, man. And, you know, and we're like anybody else, you know, we have to work and pay bills. And, you know, I'm not successful at this. I'm just like anybody else. So, I mean, I don't really, I like to play golf, and I don't have a lot of time to do that, you know, so, or ride, and I'm a mechanic. So I'm always working on my shit. I worked on her daughter's air conditioning today. So, I mean, I've always worked on cars all my life. So,
well, I mean, it's a good thing you own a Harley. Then it's going to keep you.
Yeah, it's also a good thing. I've been, you know, I've traveled all the way across the country. I don't know how many times, and I've had car troubles, and I've had to fix stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So that's a good thing. It's a good thing to be a redneck sometimes.
That's right. That's right. So are you here in Florida now, or are you still back in South Carolina?
No, we bought a house in Palm Coast, which is in between St. Augustine and Daytona. It's right in the middle on the Atlantic side.
Yep.
So I was living when I first moved here, I lived in Dunedin or right near St. Pete. And I lived there for a few years and moved in with her in St. Augustine. And then we moved here and been here ever since. So I've been living in this area about 6 years.
St. Augustine is a very beautiful place, especially that whole little where the on the water right next to where the
battlefield or where the warships and stuff are.
Yeah,
it's not a warship. It's the bunker type thing. What is that called?
The fort.
The fort. Damn, Jesus Christ.
There's a fort there. There's a fort there, and then there's also the reenactment ships they have. So whoever said that, there is ships up there. And
me and my wife went on those ships. That's the reason why I knew.
We went out on one, and I think we got the B team because when we went on and my wife drinks. You know, she'll have a few drinks, and we have some friends that we go hang out with. And we went out. We thought it was like a pirate ship. It was like a barge they turned into like a fake sailboat. So it's like they reenacted. It was terrible. The guy was doing stand up, and it was horrible. And I remember going, "We paid $50 for this." So we had a bad experience. But yeah, St. Augustine is the oldest city I think it's the oldest city in the nation, and it's got some crazy stuff, man. You walk down Main Street, you can just literally feel the history, dude. There's a lot of bloodshed and craziness, and I mean, St. Augustine was like pretty much everybody that lived there for a few hundred years got murdered. Everyone, women, children, everybody.
Yep. Yeah, we're only about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours from where you are.
Where are you guys at?
Citrus County.
like toward Tallahassee?
No. Citrus County, where in
Homosassa.
Homosassa area.
I know where it is. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I used to do what's that place called? Full Throttle.
Oh, High Octane.
Huh?
It was High Octane.
That's it.
High
Okay,
Octane Saloon.
Yeah.
It's a Napa. It's a Napa now.
It's the absolutely worst possible gig you could ever have. One of the worst. And, you know, I didn't do too bad there. I did okay because I'm kind of a biker looking dude. But that was just the most horrible gig. No one ever listened. I mean, you could be really, really doing well, and they just, you know, get up and go, "Can I get a chili dog?" I mean, it was just, you know, and I remember one of the last shows I did there, they absolutely just killed my feature. He was supposed to do 30 minutes before me, and I was supposed to do 45 to an hour. And so I'm waiting. He does 9 minutes and goes, "Yep, fuck y'all, thank you," and leaves. So not only do I have to do my time, but if I want to get my check, which Bonkers was holding, they don't give you any. They give you no money there. I had to do his time too. So
wow.
Damn.
I did it. It was
That sounds about right for the people that own there.
Crowd was just.
Yeah, you could listen. It was a terrible venue for having a comedy club. If you want to have a comedy club, don't do it in a fucking biker bar. That was a terrible idea.
I swear, I think it went on for 10 years.
It was just a bad idea because I was the same way. We would walk in there, we're trying to listen to the show, and then it was like people talking next to you that they were just talking about random shit. So I was just like, at this point, I'm like, all right, fine. I'm gonna take my fucking beer. I'm gonna go outside and not listen to the comedy show because I can't hear it because everybody wants to fucking talk.
Yeah. I had a big 6'13" biker dude walk up to me right in the middle of a joke one time and go, "All right, you believe in God?" I said, "No, but I'm fixing to ask him for a favor." And it's just in the middle of a show. He just comes out and look, no security, no nothing.
Yeah, there's security. There were security there. They just weren't paying attention. That's
Maybe they wanted to see me get my ass kicked. I don't know.
But listen, you'll have a better shot now that there's a Napa there.
I'd have a better show, dude.
it's less noisy, you know. I mean, think about this. There's like 2 customers in the entire fucking store.
Hey, I'm gonna do a tight 30, and can I get a CV joint for a 79 Ranger?
Yep. Yeah. Can you just pay me with the CV axle? That's fine. I'll take that. it's all
I have the core charge.
So what shows do you guys have coming up? And are you coming back to this coast?
Yeah, actually that guy I work with I just started working with Derek Meyer. Super nice guy. I've done 3 or 4 shows with him. He's never paid me what he agreed. He's always given me more. I mean, he's just one of the nicest guys to work. I can't believe how nice he is. And he likes us. He's truly a decent human being. So I'm doing more work up there. The next shows we're doing, I believe we're at Kazi's in Virginia Beach. I mean, Newport News, Virginia. I don't know if you've heard of Kazi's. It's pretty world famous. If you can get into Kazi's, you can get in anywhere. And I've been headlining there for now probably 3 or 4 years. Lorraine has very much helped us out. And then after that, we're at Gregory's Comedy Club in Cocoa Beach, Florida. And then I have no clue. I know I got a corporate gig right after that. Oh, that's funny. June 24th, I got a corporate gig in Kissimmee for the Dental College Association, and the gig is from 7:30 in the morning to 8:15 in the morning. Stand up.
What the hell?
I know. That's what I said.
Yeah.
I was like, "Who did I piss off at the agency?" And they were
crazy.
like, "No, we want it. You know, we're gonna." I was like, "Well, nobody's gonna be drunk then." And I thought the same thing about a wedding I did. I had to do a wedding from 10 o'clock till 10:45, and they had to catch a flight to go their honeymoon. Not only was the people drunk, but the priest was drunk at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Just
Couldn't
nice.
believe, couldn't believe it.
Just nice.
But yeah, so we're busy.
That's good. That's good. Is Harry on that one with you? Is he going with you? He's touring with you? Okay, perfect.
Yeah, he's going to Newport News. I'm pretty sure he's doing the Gregory's. That's a 3-night gig. That's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And that's a really nice venue. If you know anybody who lives in that area around Melbourne, Cocoa Beach, Gregory's is a wonderful restaurant. The comedy club's been there for over 30 years. It's called Gregory's Upstairs Comedy Club. They have unbelievably great food there. There's a motel behind the place. It's actually, if you're going to do a date night and you want to not have to bust the bank, this is a good place to go because there's all kinds of packages with the comedy and stuff. And a beautiful stage. I mean, it's a nice place.
So that's Gregory's over in Cocoa Beach because that's going to be the closest one for us to be able to check out.
And that's I think that's the third week. No, it's the second week in April. It's like 11, 12, 13, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. One of those kind of deals. Hotel right on the beach, too, by the way. You can hear the water breaking.
Nice, nice. Hopefully we don't have bad storms at that time.
Yeah.
Because then you won't be staying on the beach.
That would suck.
That would suck. Where can we find your schedule? Where do you post it? On your Facebook page?
Yeah, I have 2 Facebook pages, not because I wanted them, but Facebook gave me no alternative. I have my regular Facebook page, which is Doug Canney, and then I have the comedy page, which is a little different. It's Doug Canney, and it's just I can't boost posts or anything on my personal page. So if I want to like do a post and like get to more people, I had to get a fan page. So if you go to that one, it tells all my gigs. I have a little page for that. And then also my website is profunny.com, pro-funny.com. And to be honest with you, I really need to go there and upload some stuff. But I have Instagram and YouTube and TikTok, and it's all just Doug Canney. You can't miss it.
And if you go to profunny.com, I'm sure it'll give you all the links for Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, the whole shebang, right?
I'm trying to get that light out of my eyes. Yeah, and also there's pictures of me working for a bunch of different famous comics and not touching the camera so I don't look retarded.
It's better. It's better now. Cool. Also, what the hell else was I gonna ask? Oh, upcoming comics. There's a couple of guys out there that are upcoming. We had one on the show, Mark and I. He's actually Facebook. He does a lot of Facebook reels and TikToks and stuff like that.
He actually watched the show tonight.
He did?
Yes.
He has not done stand-up like live in front of people.
His name's Bryce
Tucker.
Oh, I remember you told me about that. I looked him up. He's got like a billion followers or something.
He does.
Quite a bit, yes.
But he wants to do stand-up. Somebody had told him, hey, we're going to try to get you down to Tampa, which would be fantastic. We'd love to see him in Florida, and meet him in person.
Where's he from?
That'd be pretty cool. Georgia.
Well, that's not far away.
No.
I'm lazy.
What? Where does he live in Georgia? Near Atlanta?
I'm not sure if he lives near Atlanta or not. I think he's South Georgia something.
He's like an hour or so over the border.
Georgia is a big comedy town. There's a lot of open mics and stuff, and people don't seem to realize how tough it is to get a fan base like he has. That takes a lot of work, a lot of luck, a lot of talent. So, I don't know who that guy is, but I'm going to tell you what, if he's got, from what I saw on his page, I think there's a good chance he could probably be pretty good at it.
I would hope so. I would hope so. I'd like to see him. I'd like to see him try to do more stand-up stuff. I mean, literally, when we sat down with him the first time, he had books like this that he was like, oh, I write my thoughts in here. And he's like, I can't help it that they're funny. It's just, they're funny. He's like, I make my little stories in there, and this is what I do. And then he just starts.
He keeps telling us that he's going to come on our show and give us a 15-minute stand-up, let him do it all. But every time we go to ask him, he is busy certain parts of the year because he's
Yeah.
part farmer too.
Well, that's not a doing online stand up is actually harder than doing it at an open mic. And because during the pandemic, I probably did 2 or 3 dozen online shows, and you really got to get your legs under you to do that. It's a weird. I mean, I'm a mouthy, loud, boisterous person, so I kind of figured it out quickly. But if you know, it's not. You think it'd be easier to go like this and do it. It's actually tougher. So he probably just needs a coach. Is probably what he needs.
So you think if he goes out and does a couple open mics, and that'll probably help him out to shake some of the fear out of him to want to go to pursue it, I guess.
Yeah, man, and don't overdo it, man. If you can't find another comic in his area that's friendly and doesn't have any ego and that'll maybe share some thoughts with him, tell him to go to an open mic and do 3 minutes. Just don't go crazy. Just 3 or 5 minutes. Tell him, and just bust his cherry. I mean, I remember the first time I ever got up in front of with no guitar in my hand. I told jokes with a guitar in my hand for 20 years, but when it came to just me standing there, it's a different entity completely. And more than likely, if he's that prolific in his writing, he can put together 3 minutes that'd be pretty damn funny.
Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. Well, hopefully we'll get a chance to have him reach out to you and talk to you. You seem like that kind of person, like you're willing to help.
If there's anything I can do to help a new comic or whatever, I honestly mean it. I would be willing to help.
That's fantastic, Doug. That's fantastic. That's awesome, dude. And congratulations again on your sobriety. I think you said it's been right around 12 years.
Yep.
Almost 13 years.
12 years. December 3rd was 12 years.
Mark, where are you at?
June will be 16.
16 years?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's great, brother. One day at a time, man. I didn't do that. I didn't do the AA thing, and I think it's great for a lot of people.
I didn't do the AA. I just
couldn't do it.
If it wasn't for the cop that pulled me over, he could have took me to jail. Instead, he told me to call somebody to have him come get my truck and take me home. Okay. Wow. And I was only going a few. It was 35. I was going 40, and that's the reason why he pulled me over.
Wow. Changed your life.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah.
Good for you, man. I remember the last shot I was a tequila guy. I used to drink a 5th of tequila and 3 to 6 beers a day. Oof. And just every night I drink a 5th. I mean, just, while I was doing stuff, and I could maintain, and I remember the last day. I remember that last day I took a half a shot and took a big gulp of my beer, and I said, I'm done. And then me and the girl I've been dating for 8 years broke up and never got back together.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mine, the part about mine was the last straw was the fact, well, one, I didn't feel like drinking anymore. 2, it's when the cop said, okay, if you dump the case of beer that you have out, you have no tickets. So we're sitting there pouring them all out. I'm like, fuck yeah, and then when I got home, I'm like, I just can't do it anymore.
That's a lot of pressure, man. That's a lot of stress when you're sitting there looking at your future go before your eyes. Because if he'd have took your ass to jail,
I was only a few months out from having hip replacement surgery too.
Wow.
So, yeah, I was trying to numb the pain from what I was in, and it just wasn't working anymore. So I just decided that was enough.
And he's and you're how many years clean off of the pain meds?
6 months.
No. I'm talking like the real pain meds, like when I first moved back and you were like always falling asleep. Like I'd go over to Mark's house and be talking to Mark, and Mark's like,
The Oxys,
Yeah.
10 years.
Yeah.
When you said 6 months, you meant from Suboxone, didn't you?
No, 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 no. I had a pain management doctor the whole time, and I was on morphine for uh, about 10 years, and we just slowly decreased the pain meds. And after a while, I was finding out that the pain wasn't really there. It was the pain medicine making it worse.
You and I have a lot in common, brother. I was on MS Cotton, 300 milligrams a day for about 8 years.
And that's a wonderful drug, but it's not so wonderful when you forget what you're doing.
Yep.
Or if you're falling asleep or you're in the middle of doing something and it's like, yeah, no.
Mark's like, why don't you ever come over and hang out? I was like, Mark, because you're always, every time I come over to hang out, you were like passing out. You're just nodding off. You know?
Yeah.
I'm trying to talk to you, and there he was.
Yeah.
How old are you, Mark?
I am 46 right now.
I'm a little older. I got
You're
a
like,
birthday
what,
in
51,
2 weeks.
51, 52?
I got a birthday in 2 weeks. I'll be 59.
59?
Damn.
Wow. You look good for it, man. I was
That's
thinking
because
like
I got a
51,
filter on
52.
here.
Oh. Yeah, sure. Oh man.
Thank you.
Is there anything else that you want to talk about, Doug? We appreciate your time. We always ask for, that hour, and some people are like, hey, I can give you an hour.
Wait,
Yeah.
Brian. There's one thing that we got to ask him before anything else, before we let him go and stuff. Same thing we normally ask all our guests. See if they wouldn't mind, introducing our next show.
I'd love to do that.
The interesting part about the next show is right now we have no guests, so we're gonna do an open
mic, open door.
No, we can't use door challenge, because then nonsensical nonsense will say, well, they came up with it. It's
I'm trying to fix the lighting so I can do it correctly.
Oh, you're fine.
There we go. That's a lot better. Is that better? A little bit better.
Yeah,
that's better.
So you don't know who your next guest is, huh?
Well,
no,
see, we wanted a few different ones, and we're working on talking with a few that we want on the show. Like Harry, a guy named Dadpool. We'd love to have him.
Deadpool?
No, Dadpool.
Dadpool from TikTok. He's on live all the time. He sounds like Ryan Reynolds. He's absolutely fantastic. He used to live here in Citrus County, so he knows the area. So
I got to meet Ryan Reynolds.
Did you really?
With my wife, yeah. We were at this thing in Miami, a show, and afterwards, I'm at the meet and greet selling my stuff, and him and his wife walk up. I'd never seen the guy. I didn't know who he was. He walks up. The dude is good looking, man. He shook hands with me, and right when he looked at my wife, her water broke. She wasn't even pregnant. Bullshit. I didn't meet him. I'm kidding.
Oh man.
He's a good-looking dude, though. I mean, I don't have any trouble saying someone else looks okay, because you can look at another dude and go, "That's an ugly motherfucker," But you can also look at a dude like Brad Pitt and go, "That dude's good-looking,"
Oh, so here we go. Nonsensical Nonsense is chiming in. He's gonna take it up with us on the next show. So listen,
so that's your next.
So our show next week. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna put the link out there. Anybody can jump on. Doug, you can come back in next Thursday and make fun of people. We would absolutely love that.
I'm not on the road. I'm home. So
if you're home, we're gonna send the link to you.
Okay.
Don't be surprised. It's just gonna say, hey, if you get a minute and you want to come into the show, it's basically like a 15 minutes of fame kind of thing. And then come in and talk about anything you want to. It's your time.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
We always ask the same thing. We tell people no religion, no no politics because,
Same thing.
well, that's the worst thing that you could do on most things because you're going to get canceled real quick off
Yep.
those two subjects.
And you have no idea how smart, because there's a lot of people who say that, but then they go right into it.
Yeah.
There's only going to be one time that we, if we ever do decide to, do anything with politics, it would be if we could get a certain sheriff on the show.
I know who you're talking about.
Do you? I'd love to have him on the show. I mean, he's fantastic. I think what he does for, he's Polk County, right?
Yep. There's just something about somebody with a southern accent going, "You come down here in Polk County, we just want to let you know that our people have M60 machine guns that are fully automatic. So if you break into one of our houses, we're going to turn you into potted meat. And that has my seal of approval on it." That's exactly, and that's what he sounds like too.
Yep.
Shows a picture. He said, "You see this fool here? We stopped him at a stoplight with 450 pounds of methamphetamines, a boa constrictor, and a bullwhip." So yeah, he's like that.
I'd love to get him on the show just simply to do that, just to tell us about who they're looking for or something like that. Just let him go through his thing.
You get him on the show, I want to co-host it.
Okay.
I wouldn't be mean to him. I wouldn't be profane. I think that I'd like to ask him some questions.
And I think that's why we need to get him on the show. I'd love to have him on the show just to ask him some questions.
Well, then
and hopefully
you gotta help me write something up that would, get his attention.
We'll see.
I'd love to be a part of this, man, because we could get him up. Look, you could tell him right off the bat, say, "Hey, we're pro-police," or you are, and that, we'd like to talk to you about maybe helping you recruit other young people going into the police department.
Yeah.
We've tried to get Mike.
Rapata. Yeah, Todd. I've tried to get Mike. I've reached out to him several times. He's not responding.
I don't know who that is.
He's a
Mike
wrestler.
Rapata he's a former professional wrestler. He used to be go by the Colorado Kid, and then in Southern California, he had a wrestling school where a handful of us wrestled for him, and he was trash. I mean, I'm sorry, he was he turned the promotion into trash, is what I should have said.
Wrestling.
That's right. That's right.
I grew up in Eastern North Carolina in a small town, and let me tell you, I can't remember if it was Tuesday or what, but when wrestling came on, it was like a deserted town. Everybody was watching wrestling, and once a year, all the famous ones would come to the high school, and every single famous wrestler would come to the high school there and put on a show, and they'd make a pile of money.
Of course.
I believe
of course.
They would have had my money back then.
Yep.
Okay, so get my money now.
So what are we going to call next week's show? I think I call it the Hot Link. What do you think, Mark?
I think you should. I don't see how you're going to have it a hot link because of the fact that, and we've gone through this several times. How is it a hot link? You're not actually, nobody's calling in. So that's what I think of a hot link.
I thought it was a hot dog, but okay. Anyway,
you ever heard of the Green Apple Quick Step?
No.
Okay.
What the fuck?
So when you eat too much fruit or too much apple pie or whatever, then you got to use the bathroom, and you could be 8 feet away from the toilet. You're probably not going to make it. That's the Green Apple Quick Step.
Green Apple Quick Step. I'm not naming the show that.
Come on, man. You said it so professionally. Green Apple Quick Step.
So it's an open mic is what we're going to do then, right?
Eventually, I'd like to change it. We'll come up with a lot better name.
Closed mic.
Closed mic. Because originally we wanted to call it something like shit talking or shit talker, and then we just open mic, or I don't know. We just haven't figured that one out. It was easier coming up with the name of the show than it was for that.
How long y'all been doing this?
A little over a year now.
Well, I appreciate you having me on, man. And I pushed it, and I'll push it again if I think you guys, you know that Joe Rogan didn't start with 5 billion followers, right?
No, but he started with a bunch.
Well,
shit.
Yeah, fear factor, all that.
Yeah, that's right. Not only that, he's a part of the UFC, right? So I mean, the guy's got mad clout. I'll never have that because I work in a little sales department somewhere. They tuck me in the back corner. Well, okay, one day.
I just want to make money off YouTube, man. I want to get enough followers and enough subscribers. I know some people that do it, and I have some friends of mine that have worked their way up. And let me tell you what, man, you get 1 million followers, you accidentally have a viral video, and you can count on $3 or $4 grand a month guaranteed forever, as long as you keep posting videos.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do.
We have the followers, we just don't have the watch time, and that's what.
How many views do you need to get it?
We need shit. I haven't looked lately.
You gotta have 1,000 subscribers to monetize. I don't know how many views.
Yeah.
Well, we have the subscribers. We don't have the watch time though. I think is what we're missing.
It's
hours.
Hours. I just don't remember what it is right now.
So when you pop a video up, make sure the very first, the beginning, the entrance of it, like it has to catch somebody's attention, or they're just going to scroll to the next one. And that's where we, at the beginning of our show, I try to be as loud and as obnoxious as I can, and I'm like, "Welcome to the shit show, everybody."
How much of the video do they have to watch for you to get credit for it before they can cut it off? Do you have to watch half of it or 3/4 or what?
Mark's going to have to research that. That's on him.
Yeah, that's
okay. I just wondered because
I don't remember.
I watch a lot of videos and like the last minute I'll bail. And I don't want to do that.
I don't think somebody has to watch the whole thing. It's like, okay, cool.
Todd, you are correct. They do catch people's attention, but not on YouTube. They'll
YouTube is brutal, dude. I get comments all the time. Go kill yourself. You're not funny. Just all kinds of stuff.
That's insane, dude.
The talking shit hoedown.
No, we're not doing the talking shit hoedown. I'm sorry, that's not happening. Right now, we're just going to leave it as we're going to call it the open mic show next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Right?
I like that.
Everybody is welcome. All we require is a camera and a microphone. That's it.
No problem.
Because Glick will tell you that people will come in showing their dicks and stuff like that, and then you're canceled. That's it. It's game over.
Well, that's why we got the little screens at the bottom too.
I didn't know that was a thing because I'm not prepared for that.
Neither are we. Listen, dude, we're two straight guys over here. We're just trying to have a podcast and talk to people about stuff, and that's it. We're not trying to see wieners. Titties, on the other hand, I don't mind.
You guys are likable, and you flow, with your presence and questions. And even though we didn't have a script or anything to go by, the time went by, and I enjoyed it.
We never
Excellent,
have a script.
Man.
We never have a script. When we first started, we started asking. Brian wanted to ask questions and stuff, and then after a while, we said, "No, we're not going to do that anymore." I believe that was his wife's idea, also.
Yeah, she said, "I'm not going to watch you interview people. It's boring." I said, "Okay."
No, I think you did that. And you also kind of let my leash out, let me talk or do whatever I want. I think that's kind of cool.
That's what we wanted. We'd like for you to, like people to know who you are instead of hearing just us to talk to you. It's better for you just to talk and, have fun with whatever we, any type of questions we ask or, you ask or whatever.
Well, thanks for asking all the questions, Doug. When's my turn?
Well, I gotta go, man. I'm in the middle of doing something myself. And I enjoyed staying, man. I mean, I enjoyed hanging out. I'd like to come back sometime.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll send you a new invite. All right. So before we let you go, so Open mic next Thursday, right here on Talking Shit, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Whenever you're ready, we'll pop us off the screen and we'll let you do your thing.
Catch us next week right here on the Talking Shit podcast, 8 p.m. Thursday night. Come hang out for the open mic.
Perfect. Loved it.
Did I do it right?
Yes. Perfect. We're going to use that. We're going to use that as our commercial, and that will
Todd,
run on
5
Facebook.
o'clock. It's 5 o'clock Pacific time.
Yes, 5 o'clock your time, Todd. You better show the hell up.
I will.
All right.
Hey, look, I kind of forgot about it, and what I was doing when I got your message, I was like, oh, I jumped right on it, man. I was like, I'm not gonna let you down.
All good, man. Doug, again, thank you so much, and we're gonna keep telling people to go watch you. I'll keep sharing your TikToks, and I will absolutely go like, subscribe, and share your YouTube.
And I will too. And thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Take care.
Good night.
Take care. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Doug Canney, comedian, actor, musician. If you get an opportunity, for real, guys, check him out. He's got a fantastic TikTok. A lot of it is all his personal stuff, but he absolutely shreds on a guitar. He's funny as hell.
Fuck you, Glick. See,
he's funny as hell.
Now you're trying to poach ours. I see.
It's all good. Listen, and that's the thing between us and Nonsensical Nonsense. I think if Glick needs help with the show and wants to poach one of our victims, guests, I don't mind. I really don't mind at all. I absolutely implore that, because what we're trying to do is we're absolutely trying to help Doug, and we're trying to help Harry, and we're trying to help all these other guys that are coming on the show, just to get more views, get them more views, so that they can be seen by more people, so that guys like Doug can get his YouTube up, so he can get monetized and make a little bit of extra money. He's a comedian. What did he say he makes? Like $250 a show? Come on, man.
I don't know.
Well, that's what he was starting out making.
Right.
I'm sure he makes more. So,
like I said, when it came to money, I could care less on what people make and stuff like that. So,
right.
Oh, you're the champ. You'll do what you want. Oh, okay.
He's only the champ right now because I haven't stole the belt. We haven't won the belt yet.
Fuck this, Brian. We're just gonna have to show up on his show.
Okay. I'm not scared. You threatening me with a good time or something?
Well, with the open mic next week, and after that, after that, on the 18th, we're going to be doing a special show with Nonsensical Nonsense podcast.
Holy shit, you said that correctly.
Yes, I actually said something correctly. God damn it.
That's insane. How did you do that?
Voiceover.
You just got your lips to move the right way, so that's awesome.
We're going to be doing a mental health show with them. And it's going to be, I believe it's a round table, so it's not going to be no topic. We're just going to talk.
Okay.
And we're just going to, listen to people. And
I'm not going to share my feelings. I'm going to be very closed.
Yeah, right.
We'll see.
And then what else? We still haven't had anybody for the end of the month, so we're still working on that.
No, but guys, listen, we need your help. We've got people in the shoot that we're trying to get on the show. I'm reaching out to a guy named Cashflow. If you don't know who Cashflow is, he is an OVW wrestler. He has responded. He has said that he will probably be able to give us a little bit of time. Guys, what I need is somebody to reach out to him and say, hey, when are you going to be on the Talking Shit show? He's got a Facebook page. CASHFLO is his Facebook page. It says OVW Wrestling. somebody just shoot him a message and go, "Hey, I heard that you might be on the Talking Shit show," or something like that. We're trying to get him, even if it's only for 20 to 30 minutes. I think having him on the show would be fantastic for him and us. Right,
Yes.
Mark?
Yes,
Okay.
I agree. I'm also hoping that within the next, I'm praying that we can get Dadpool on here too, because I think that would be good for us. And it would be interesting.
Maybe he watched tonight for a minute or two.
Yeah. I sent him the link.
So, all right. So, other than that, we'll keep you guys in the loop of what we're gonna do and what we got coming up. Remember, if anybody wants one of these little fancy deals right here, $1.99. No, I'm just kidding. Just let us know. We'll absolutely get them in the mail to you. You can PayPal me 35 cents or whatever a stamp costs anymore. What's a stamp cost?
I don't know. Who uses?
They keep going up, and they you don't use a stamp?
Yeah, at the post office.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. All right. So, Mark, are you good?
I'm good.
All right. Guys, from us here at Talking Shit, my name's Brian.
I'm Mark.
That's right.
And we're out of here.
Bitch, I'm in the Bitch, I'm in the I'm in the trap.